Hi there, welcome to this video where I share how I got over the fear of publishing to YouTube. And I guarantee you that this video is going to be shit. So why publish it then? Well, I was stupid. I gave my friend some money in the beginning of this week and I told her that she can keep it if I don't publish 2 videos this week. And the idea was amazing. I thought I would be very motivated on Monday. I would script 2 videos and then I would work on them and make great videos, right? But then now it's Sunday, 8:20 p.m. and this is the first video. Anyway, I am going to publish 2 videos this week. And the simple step to do that was to bet some money on it. Now, the first time I heard about this, that I could bet money on a task and lose it and that it would help me, I was quite scared to do it because I didn't understand how it works. So actually I want to share with you why betting money on doing a task that's important for you is way more helpful than you might think. This is you, this is the video you want to finish, right? And between you and there is this disgusting barrier that you have to climb. And normally you don't have enough energy or resources or whatever to do it. And I used to think that betting money on finishing the video should give you the final push, the missing motivation to go through the pain, to go through the grind, to walk through the disgusting barrier. But I was scared to commit to that because I didn't want to suffer. I didn't want to have to climb this disgusting barrier. But what I actually learned once I did that money doesn't work like that, okay? This is not how it works, okay? Don't worry. It's much better. Money makes that barrier smaller. It just makes the task much easier. And I was thinking, what the hell, why is this the case? So we will dive into that. But just to reiterate, okay, money makes it easier, okay? It doesn't make you more motivated. You don't have to suffer. It just alleviates the suffering. So why is that? Well, you have this scary task you need to do, right? And you find it difficult. And you think it's difficult because it's scary. But that's not true, okay? The scary part accounts for 10% of the difficulty. The reason why this is difficult is something else. Okay, what is this something else? Well, because the task is scary, there is small resistance to doing it. Okay, not the big one you feel, but there is just small resistance inherently because it's scary. But this small resistance fucks you up because it gives you one more option to consider. It gives you not doing the task. You always have the option of doing the task. And because there's this small resistance, you also have this option of not doing it. And the choice between those two things is what makes it difficult. Because whenever you have free time to do it, whenever you have kind of like committed to doing it and you sit down, you always have the choice of not doing it and doing it. And that's where the difficulty comes from. And if you remove the choice, that's when it becomes very easy. And that's what money does, okay? Money removes this choice. This sounds absurd because obviously there is always this choice and money doesn't remove it, money just alters it. But bear with me, okay? So, doing the task has the negatives of it being hard, you might be afraid of it, whatever, some other reasons, and there's this positive, the video is done. And not doing the task, there's this negative of like, the video is not done and it's easy, right? Like that's the positive thing about it. And there is you torn between those choices, okay? And adding, what you might think that happens is that adding this money just adds a positive like to doing it and a negative to not doing it. But this is flawed because this is not you, that's your reason. And you have also your emotions. Now, what you might think is that your emotions and your reason, talk together and they reach some kind of agreement on what happens. Sometimes your emotions win, sometimes your reason wins. But that's not true, okay? This is wrong. Because its more accurate model is that your emotions are kind of an elephant and your reason is its rider. And guess what? The elephant wins, okay? So when there's no money, the emotions kind of see that, oh, something is hard and you are afraid and something is easy. So they are like, I'm going this way. And the reason is like, oh, I want to have the video done, right? So I should be doing it. And you feel going in the opposite direction than the elephant, right? And that's difficult. That's suffering, right? But when you introduce the money there, that's something the elephant notice, okay? Your emotions kind of automatically decide, I am not losing that money. I will do whatever to not lose that money. So I'm going in that direction. And suddenly the task is super easy because, you know, your emotions and your reason are aligned and there is not this internal fight and you are just like kind of doing the work. And that's very simple. Now that you know that betting money actually makes it much easier, you might want to do it and ask the question, how exactly, like what's the best practice to do it, right? So the number one thing is you want to make sure that when you are betting money like this, if you break your part of the promise, you are actually going to lose it. And there are like few things for that, right? First, you give the money in advance. Second, you write some kind of a message saying that like, even if I am in a coma in the hospital, I'm still losing that money. Because you might find yourself thinking like, oh, but this week was especially hard, same things came up that I couldn't account for and so on and so forth, right? But you really want to get into the mindset that you are doing it no matter what, okay? Another part of this is like giving kind of small but significant amount of money, say like a lunch in a fancy restaurant, because say if you give like 10% of your net worth, you know, your friend who is like keeping you accountable might not be comfortable keeping that money, and actually you might not be comfortable losing that money. So you want something that will motivate you, like it won't be just like, I don't know, £1, but you want also something that you actually can lose to, and it will feel bad, but it won't like damage the relationship, right? So these are the tips for how to actually do it. And I want to also share a few things though, and about like what to expect. I think that for me at least, whenever I'm doing contract like this, I do kind of fail. I fail that in a way that it doesn't go according to my expectations, but it does push me to do something, and through that something I learn. And for example, here, I kind of expected that both of the videos that I will be making will be way more prepared. I will have time to edit them and so on and so forth. But I kind of didn't do that. And I learned about an interesting paradox in my mind, right? On one hand, I thought I can do a video in 4 hours, right? Like the scripting, thumbnail, whatever, editing, all of that. That should be humanly possible to do within 4 hours. But on the other hand, I absolutely love to play with my ideas. I just want to do random shit like presentations and so on. And those two things are not compatible. Like I cannot play with the idea, which is what I enjoy and so on, and do the video in 4 hours. So this week I was thinking I don't have to start now because I still have the like 4 hours for the video later. But I know that next week I actually have to think, oh, I need like 10 hours for the video to actually enjoy it. And that's why I think the contract is great, because it forces me to do something through, and I will fail kind of, but like I will learn something to improve for next week. So that's probably the main reason to go for the contracts, as well as the fact that it makes the task easier. Anyway, I hope this was at least somewhat helpful, and thanks for watching, and see you maybe in another video. Bye.